What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. I'm here with a preview of the big game tomorrow, Monday Night Football, Manchester United against Arsenal. It's funny, growing up as a kid, this for me was the biggest game of the season. You know, the rivalry, Ferguson and Wenger, Vieira and Keane, Omri and Van Nistelrooy, Campbell and Yapstam. You know, the elite players were in this game. Times have changed, man. Two Europa League teams now, and it's kind of a case of which bad team plays better tomorrow will possibly win the game. I don't think either side really believe in their manager, and I think we can both see problems in our team for different reasons. So what do we think we're going to do tomorrow, Arsenal? How are we going to set up? How do we beat this Man United team? From what I've read, Martial will be out. It looks like Pogba and Rashford are 50-50 whether they play. Being an Arsenal fan, I would expect both of them to be fit. You know, I've seen it before. Players are injured, they play Arsenal, miraculously they recover. How do we win this game? It's been a strange week for Arsenal. You know, lots of positives, 3 wins on the bounce. But the Granit Xhaka news, you know, coming out as captain, that's caused a mixed response from the fan base. I'm not going to overreact about it. I don't really think Xhaka should be the captain because I don't see him as somebody who should be guaranteed a place in the team. But when I look through the team, I don't see many captains there anyway. Maybe David Luiz. You could have maybe give it to Aubameyang, Lacazette, Socrates maybe. No one's a standout leader in my opinion. Whether he's the captain or not, you know, lead by example anyway. The more disappointing thing for me was I don't see Emery dropping Xhaka that much. You know what I'm saying? Because why would you make him captain if you had plans of bringing him out of the team? Also, giving the players the option of voting the captain, I'm not too sure about that. I think, you know, why do you wait until September to choose your definite captain? That should be done as soon as the transfer window closes. Um, Looking at the Arsenal team tomorrow, what team would I pick? Leno in goal, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Callum Chambers, I would play tomorrow at right back. Maitland Niles, he's had a shaky spell of form. I suppose the only question mark whether you would play Maitland-Niles is whether you move Chambers into the middle of the defence, which again is something I probably would like to see. So, but then that means, all right, if Martial doesn't play on the left, then maybe you do. You can go with Maitland-Niles at right back and drop Socrates because I don't believe Socrates and David Luiz works. So maybe go with Ainsley Maitland-Niles at right back and go with Callum Chambers and David Luiz at centre back because I think Socrates has been poor for a little while. He has good individual games, but overall, you know, 12 yellow cards last season, a red card, you know, he's shaky for me. Tierney hasn't played much football, but I would start him. I know he might be against Daniel James, who's kind of the danger man at the moment. But Tierney, I saw enough in that game against Forest to chuck him in. I think he's better than Kolasinac, even if he's not fully fit. I would chuck him in. The midfield, which for me is the reason we've been struggling so much, they're not helping the back four enough and they're not creating enough going forward. I would play Torreira in the CDM role. I would put Guendouzi next to him, who's the form player at the moment in our midfield. No doubt he definitely would start. I personally would start Joe Willock for the energy because I think Man United, you look at Pogba, he doesn't want to defend, he's not fully fit. Matic is very slow, you know, energy will trouble him. McTominay, who's okay, but again, I think you can trouble him. And Pereira's, he is quite energetic, but I haven't seen much from him, to be honest. I think Willock's energy would hurt United going forward. As much as I like Ceballos, I think Willock's pace will hurt United more. Maybe bring Ceballos on later in the game. The front three, Pepe on the right. You know, he got his goal last week. Aubameyang gave him the penalty. We now need to see Pepe unleash himself. I'm not going to lie. I personally, in the summer, I was rooting for us to sign Wilfried Zaha. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's electric. But we got Pepe. He scores more goals, albeit it was in a weaker league in the French league. But he needs to deliver now. All this, you know, people sometimes say, oh, you've got a year to settle in. Give him a year and he'll... I don't think at top level football you do have a year. Managers get sacked after a year. Why has a player got a year to settle in? A few months, get used to the language, the speed of the game. Top players adjust. 10, 15, 20 games, you should get used to it. Not a whole season. I want to see Pepe start improving gradually now. I want to see why teams were desperate to sign this guy in the summer. And hopefully we will. Aubameyang through the middle, on fire at the moment. Along with Aguero, probably the most informed striker in the Prem at the moment. World class in my opinion. I don't think he's a world class footballer in terms of his all round game, but as a goal scorer, he's an elite goal scorer for me. One of the top 5 or 6 in the world. And when I look at Arsenal, I don't think we're the best team creatively anyway. So imagine we was creating more chances, how many goals this guy would get. Aubameyang through the middle, and I would play Saka on the left. Young lad, fearless, seems to have overtaken Reiss Nelson at the moment. I actually thought I had high hopes for Nelson this season, I'm not going to lie. But I haven't seen much from him yet. He done all right against Forest the other day. Against Watford, he looked weak. He looked a bit naive. He looked like a kid. You've got to be stronger than that. Got to toughen up, bro. I've got to eat some of that hard food. But Saka, his aggression, his pace, I think he can trouble Wan-Bissaka. And then if it's not working, you can take him off later in the game. But I think he deserves to start. I don't want to see Emery come on of this diamond in midfield and play Pepe and Aubameyang through the middle, like he did against Liverpool, as if he was scared of the opposition. Put Man United on the back foot and try and put them under pressure. We've seen Crystal Palace soak up pressure and hit them on the break. We've got pace in our attack. Let's hit United on the break. Bring them out, leave space in behind their defence, and then hurt them. Aubameyang, Saka, Pepe, Willock's energy as well. We've got enough there to hurt this team. Set us up right, pick the right team. The players then need to take it on board. Unai Emery, don't pick a team that allows the fans to blame you if things go wrong. Pick the right team. If the players don't perform, it's their problem. And we won't be blaming you. United are there for the taking. It's about time. Apparently we haven't beaten United at Old Trafford in the league for, I think, 13 years, some will say. That's not good enough. And United now are vulnerable. The crazy thing about this game, no matter how bad Man United are, I always go into it thinking we can lose. Because we're Arsenal, we can go there, not turn up. Greenwood could start this game and this could be the game that launches his career. Like Rooney, we'd never heard of Rooney at Everton. He scored the wonder goal. Rashford came in against us, fairly unknown, scored 2, blew up his career. So you never know with Arsenal, but if they go up, set up right, play the right way, United are there to be beaten and we need to turn up and do the job. We'll see how the game goes tomorrow. If United haven't got Pogba, that will be a massive boost for us. I think Martial not playing is a big boost. But Rashford and Pogba are 50-50. And then James, obviously, he's playing fearless at the moment. And I think that's why he's been so good, because he hasn't taken on all this negative energy that's at Man United at the moment. He's just playing his own game. He's got great pace. And we're going to have to be careful. Let's see how the game goes tomorrow. Literally anything could happen. Arsenal win, draw, Man United win, anything. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Just because I've got to try and be positive. And we do look good going forward at the moment, but we have to tighten up. Xhaka has been made captain, so I'm sure he's going to start. Time to step up, skipper, mate. We're not sure you should be the captain, but prove us wrong. We're happy for you to prove us wrong. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what team you would pick going into the game tomorrow. How do you think we should set up? What formation? The midfield? A lot of people have said Ceballos. Even Mesut Ozil, but I've gone for Willock, Torreira, Guendouzi. We'll see how the game goes tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel. We'll do a review after the game tomorrow. And we'll see how the game goes. Bless.